Hey everybody, I'm going to just say hellos and ramble for a minute to let the notification go out. But thanks to everybody that's here early. I see Paul and I see Jeff Kane and myself in the chat. But that was prior to going live. Susie is sick and she has no voice, so please keep her in your thoughts and prayers. I worry about her a little bit because she is sick a little too much, I think. So she needs some relief for sure. And the skipper, he's being the party animal. He said his wife's co-workers, friendsmas, I think that's what he called it. But he said he'd try to pop in a little bit and see what's going on. Hey Sam, welcome buddy. Hey Alec, welcome buddy. I'm hoping some people are going to be here. Hey Joel, and there already are some, I say, that know something about parrots, even though we're called reptiles. You know, the birds and the reptiles are definitely related. But I had a call this week, or the art did rather, so that's me, and I returned it, and a lady was calling for her neighbor who had to move. They were in an apartment complex and they're moving them temporarily somewhere else so they can update the apartments. But the neighbor has a Quaker parrot and didn't want to take it or couldn't take it where they were going temporarily. So I talked with her a little bit and asked her to hold on to it a couple of days. I usually like to, especially something like a parrot. But after going to PetSense this afternoon for our adoption event, rainy day here, raining all the time. I went to, hey Davo, hey Lucky Stone, Cora Works, Bob, you gotta promise me something, anything for you, Coro, except doxing, no doxing. Hey GRB, happy winter celebrations. I like that. Never seen that before, but how simple and how inclusive and not being political, but that's nice. I like that, Lucky Stone. Happy winter celebrations. How nice. But anyway, I called her this evening and went over and got the parrot. So her name is Tater Bug. I want to call her Tater Bug. And I practiced this and still screwed it up. She's right there in that little cat or puppy or whatever carrier. It's a small one and real lightweight, and I thought she might transport easier in that than a small cage. She has a big parrot cage. It's heavy as AF, but it's sitting out in the rain because the lady said it needed to be cleaned. That was one reason too. She wasn't able to really take care of her like she would like to. However, she did a good job from what I could see. We say happy holidays like Americans. Well, isn't he an American? With hot English mustard, of course. Can't look away for a second without some controversy, it seems. Well, I'll tell you something. Why are Christmas leftover ham sandwiches the best ever? I know. Did you see what I put the title? And I thought, well, that seems kind of clever, especially for me. So I just called it Holiday Sandwich, since we're kind of sandwiched between corny, but anyway. How simple and non-denominational, that too. So what do I have to promise? Hey, Davo again. Never change. I probably won't at this point. You know, I just turned 69. I know, look, 39, 40, 42. I'm full of shit. Anyway, I can't believe it myself. I just can't believe it. This last 25 years has gone really, really fast. But back to the freaking bird. She's really, really awesome. She's got, like, on the tops of her wings, what I would call her shoulders on both sides. It's uniform. It's exactly the same. But I asked the lady if she picks her feathers because there's some bald areas there. Not real bad, but concerning. Well, it is bad, I guess. Anyway, third night of Hanukkah also. Clever, not corny. Davo. Happy holidays with a red cup in hand to the panhandlers with bells and costumes outside the grocery store. We say happy holidays. Okay. But anyway, I didn't want to have her cage inside, and I'm being real careful as to where I have her and what's in contact with her and that kind of thing. Just a little bit worried about mites. I had got them with my mice several months ago, and once I figured out what was going on, they were real easy to treat, very easy to treat. Just a little ivermectin, a couple of drops in the water. Lost a couple of. Hey, Dragon Lair, I'm glad you're here. I'm just rambling about this new little parrot that I got, and I wanted to see. I haven't even researched them. She's right there. Her name is Taterbug, and until I brought her in this room, she was just talking away to me in the kitchen. She says hello and pretty bird, and she said 4 things to me. Anyway, but she always chirps and answers. Taterbug, Taterbug, did you go to sleep? Taterbug. She was answering me every single time in the kitchen, but I brought her in here. Like I say, I left her cruddy big parrot cage outside in the rain. It's pouring rain. And I'll bleach it tomorrow while it's still raining and let it sit out there some more. But this is just an extra parrot cage she's sitting on, whatever the hell it is right there. It's a pretty good sized cage. It's almost as big as Floyd's old cage. But her parrot cups and dishes and things don't fit it, so I've had to improvise with it. Even had to put some stuff in it. Her toys also were all in her cage, and I want to treat those too, except one the lady gave me that for some reason wasn't in her cage. So she's got that little bell up there and a mirror, and I'll put her in there in a bit. But she's got that feather loss on the top of her wings. I'm going to be driving home shortly. I guess you're at the dog park again. Happy Festivus for the rest of us. Okay. It looks like all of the cool kids are here. All of them. All of them. So anyway, this little bird does bite, the lady says, and I had misunderstood her. I wasn't asking the question correctly. She said she comes out and sits on top of her cage. And I was like, well, doesn't she fly around? She said, no, she stays right there. But when I went over to meet her tonight, she was ready just to hand her to me and me go, like picking up a package. And I'm like, no, I want to sit here and talk to her and see you interact with her and that. And I played her a couple of videos, of course. And she liked that. It was a male bird singing and talking. And so she liked that. She figured that I was all of the right people. But she will bite if you try to pick her up, if you're a stranger. Same way I had with Floyd. You know, when I got Floyd, I figured he would take off my little fingers, but he finally slackened up on me, and now he's a real sweetheart. What's the new bird's name? Oh, Joel, it's Tater Bug. I initially thought it was Potato Bud, but that was just me trying to take notes real fast on the phone a couple of nights ago from her. It's Tater Bug. She's pretty. She looks like all the Quaker parents look. I guess they all do. There may be different ones. She's green, all up on top, her back and tail and head, I'm pretty sure, and wings. But then all of her neck and everything underneath is a grayish color. So, and she's about maybe half the size of Floyd. So that's concerning for cats that might not respect a parrot that small. Sounds like my ex-girlfriend. Oh my. The one that you made the screen name. Why are we always yelling? What part sounds like your ex-girlfriend? But anyway, I'm going to move her down so that she will be more active and all that. And I had thought I would do that while I was talking to you guys, but I'm sitting here in some great old XXX bloomers that might or might not pass YouTube as shorts. So I might just cut the camera off for 1 minute. And what I've got to do is keep that lid, that flap on that door up there from opening the thing she's in. I got to unzip it all the way without her flying out while I'm trying to get it unzipped. And then I'm going to put it in the big parrot cage door and let her fly over in there. I'm sure she wants out. But I probably should. I could just turn this around too, couldn't I? I'll do that. Look at my algae. Tank's doing awesome. Going gangbusters over there. And I've been interacting with Jonah's aquariums 2 or 3 times back and forth. And he asked me some questions. Excellent questions. Of course. There she is. You guys can hear her, I'm sure. Hey, did you fall asleep, pretty girl? Oh my. Hey, her bud. Hey, her bud. Hey, her bud. Come on, let's get you down here. I got you some water. Come on. I'm just going to move your cage a little bit. Let me get this into it. Look at that. Oh, she's excited. She's all excited now. Uh-oh, I have your mirror on the wrong thing, so Lloyd, he's not sure about this, you know. He is not sure about all this at all. What the hell? Okay, I see. Sorry, I got your little mirror clipped onto the zipper. And that ain't gonna work. You know that won't work. Silly me. Silly me. What you doing? Lloyd, you gonna talk to her? Lloyd's ignored her completely. Completely. When he figured out there was a bird here, he got kind of howdy. There you go. Can you go in there? Can you get in there? Go over in there. Just waiting on her to fly into the other cage and I'll be have it done. Go in there. Go. There she goes, I think. Yeah. Here she goes. Come on out so Floyd can see you. Come on. Look over here. Here's your food bowl. It's on the floor, but it's there. Come on. Come on, girl. Come on. Boop, boop, boop. She's taking her time. She's not sure about the fish thing, probably. Hey. Come on. Good. Everybody wants to see you. Everybody wants to see you. Come on, girl. Hi. She said hi. Hi. Floyd says hi. He says hi there. Hi there. Hello. 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 Ow! Ha ha. You think that's funny? She got me, not real bad, but bad enough to make me yell. Go on. I said, I'll go when I want to go. I was trying to nudge her along. It didn't work. Lord, be careful. She's got a mouth on her. A beak on her. Let's go. Let me try with something else. Come on. Come on. Come on. Well, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I'm about to just leave her in here. Come back. Come on. Where'd you go? She's being silly. Come on. Come on. Come on. She acts like she wants to go out, but there she goes. My gosh, talk about drama. Talk about drama. I might name you Patrick. I'll get hell if you heard that, Patrick. Okay. Oh my God. She's little, but she's spicy. Okay. I can't believe there are actually people still here all that time. So, let me pull this back and read it. Floyd, you see her back there? She's in the cage. There's not a lot of light, and that's intentional. Yeah, go over there and see her. That cage is in your way too, isn't it? Trash cat, howdy, howdy. Some I can now hear I could do without though. I got my hearing aids yesterday. Boy, was I missing a lot of sounds. Interesting. Oh, what'd he get? It's a parrot. Oh. Hello. Hello. Listen, hear your girl talking back there? A Quaker parrot. Yeah, she got my finger, but no blood. Just a little bruised. Didn't even break the nail. I stuck my finger right in her face. The lady said she would bite. Okay, I'm caught up. So Floyd, hear her talking back there? Go see her. Go see her. Here? She's talking smack. She's talking smack. I think I mentioned on the stream the other night that I had two of my ball pythons, and of course expensive ones. It's always expensive ones when something happens. Had gotten out of their habitat, their 40 breeder habitat, and I didn't realize it till the next day when I saw the male coming down the hall toward me. So I got him and put him back, and then I noticed she was gone too. But also, all the clips were still on the top. There was no way they could have gotten out and put the clips back on. So I thought that's bizarre. So I looked for her for 2.5 weeks. She turned up the other day. She drank water literally for 15 minutes in my lap. And I was going to feed her last night. So it's been 2 days. And I'll be damned, she's gone again. So I think she never left the reptile room before, because that's where I found her coming in. Why don't you go up there where it's not right in the my ear? Go see her. Go see her. Go on. You want me to take you up? Are you shy? Go on. Hey Benjamin, have you ever had any of your snakes go after four? Absolutely not. Now, none of them when like the ball pythons don't bother him, and they don't bother the cats and dogs. And my two chugs sit right in my lap with snakes on me. But I have that 8-foot carpet python, and when Floyd gets on top of its screen on the top, it comes right over and sits under. So I have a feeling it might try to eat him. It could eat him, that's for sure. But nobody else has shown any interest. And I've only had that snake, I don't know what, 3 or 4 months, so it may stop that. Her name, Trash Cat, is Tater Bug. Needs a single earplug. I've got one somewhere. I saw it. I think it's in by my bed. I have a single earplug somewhere. You mean a mic and earplug, or you just mean an earplug because of Floyd? Yeah, I think you're right, Dragon Lair, but she has been off, or he has been off his feed the last 3 weeks. He usually eats large rat every week, and I thought they were overfeeding him, but he's not overweight. But he acts hungry. He goes around hunting and looks at Floyd. But there's a rat in there I need to take out now. Frozen thaw. You kids, settle down. Go up there and see her. Don't scream across the room. Go see her. Tater bug. Yeah, she's a lot smaller than Floyd. Do. What's the most impressive thing you've seen a bird destroy? Probably my antique picture albums that I've had since I was a kid. I used to collect family pictures, the old pictures, most of them black and white, but some color into the 60s, 1960s. And I've had those out for a while, and Floyd likes to chew those up, which I don't care really, but he hasn't chewed any of the pictures, just the album covers. That probably. He's chewed up most of my shirts that I let him sit on. Yeah, it was Pretty Boy, and she says pretty bird. I've heard her say it several times already. Let me walk him over there, guys, and we'll see if y'all can see her without me turning this camera around. I'm just going to turn it around like that around. Avoid the technology. Oh, golly. There she is. See, she only has a swing that's too big and a perch that's about right, but I've got to get her some more perches. What do you think, Floyd? Look how pretty her. She looks a little thin to me. You look a little thin, girl. We like a little meat on us all around here. We do. You see yourself in there? See the pretty girl? Taterbug. Taterbug. You can see the top of her wings, like her shoulder, I call it, or the bend of her wing. Are naked. Her belly may be plucked too, now that I'm getting a good look at her. Yeah, she plucks her belly too, I see. So, could be mites, but it's pretty uniform, so. But I'll start by treating her for mites. Lady had her 4 years. She was outside walking one summer and walked by a yard sale and was looking at things. And she kept hearing a bird, and she asked the guy, "Where's the bird? What's the bird?" He said, "Oh, it's a Quaker parrot. Do you want her?" And she said, "Oh, I just got rid of 14 conures." She had a pair of conures, and they kept having clutches of eggs, and so she had sold those, I guess, to a pet shop or somebody in bulk. So she took her and has had her 4 years. She's been sitting right there in that living room 4 years in that apartment. She cried. Yeah, you don't like that thing on being on top, do you? I don't blame you. Yeah, we'll get that off because you like to sit on top of the cage. Your other cage, your cage. You gonna bite me? Look here. I'm not gonna mess with you. Look at that. Look at that. She likes to bob. Look at her bob that head. Look at her bob that head. Look at her. Show off. Look at her. Yeah. All right, Floyd, you can go see her now. All right, that's the most I've got to interact with her because I was watching the lady talk to her and stuff before, just to kind of assess that. So Quakens are flockbirds, right? Get psychotic and pluck. That's what I was hoping somebody, so I should get 5 more of them. But she said that the man didn't know how old she was, and she didn't think he had told her how he got her. So she's at least 4.5 now, because it was 4 years this past summer. Down under her carpets, and males stop eating and look for females to breed. Well, all I've got's that other carpet, that little, can't remember what kind she is, but I don't think that would be inappropriate. Forgive me for misspellings. I am driving. That's not nice. What's a return? That's pretty boy. You're right. Yeah, Pam's the one that added Floyd, I think. I thought it was Trash Cat, but Pam said it was her. So you think that's what's going on? Yeah, she does look too thin. Who said that? Yeah, but there's no feathers on that belly. I didn't notice that at first. She may have had her back to me the whole time. She's actually up on top. There's like a playground thing that goes on top of her cage, and her food and water bowls sit out there. And she's got a big mirror that's attached to that. Pretty cool. But there's no way I'm going to let that bird out of the cage till all the cats see her, and hopefully Floyd will be her. He'll be Papa Floyd, maybe. Nobody messes with Floyd. Nobody. He accidentally missed his landing or something and fell in the floor, just plopped in the floor this morning. And all the dogs, you know how wolves will circle something that's injured. They were all in perfect position, all but one. 5 of them were around him. And no one flinched. No one batted an eye. And he just took his time. He didn't even look behind him. And in a couple seconds, he got his feathers fixed and got all prepared and jumped up in the air about 2 feet and flew up on the aquarium. So, respect, I guess. She is a cutie. Hear her back there? Now, you know, when I go to bed, when I turn off everything and go to bed, we all get real quiet. And then when I start opening the drapes in the morning and turning on lights, we wake up. Just follow Floyd's example. All of my birds are like that. He's not in your ear anymore, and that's what matters. Oh, he gets loud, and so sometimes just a look. He's pretty astute. I was talking about those picture albums, so you can see what a little of the damage under his feet. And that's actually a bowl with rat biscuits in it. I almost ran out, so I had to pick them all out of the bag, but I went today and got them another 50-pound bag. I'm way down on my mice and rats, and it's so much easier to take care of them every day, not just every other day. I don't like to smell nasty stuff, litter pans, rat pee. I don't like that. Don't like that anywhere I go, and I sure don't like to have to breathe it here. Oh, you spoke too soon, Coral. What do you say, Floyd? Look at the pretty bird. Look. He's paying attention to her. I think I just happened to be something convenient halfway to her. Go up there and see her. Go see her. She's pretty. She needs her little shawl around her wings. You like her? You like her? Huh? Go up there. There he is. Reptile show. So anyway, I'm going to launch a search in a little bit for that snake. I think what she had done was gotten under one of the really low cabinets, and even though I videoed under all those, somehow I didn't see her. So I think I'm going to take like a broomstick or something round that I can just gently put under there and see if I find any resistance. Not poke it, but search for buried treasure. I mean, buried snake. Exactly. Well, in her case, it is treasure. I got her for a deal, but it was a couple of car payments if I still had a car. But I've got to More importantly, I've got to figure out how the hell they're getting out of that. The wire top is not torn, it's clamped down. I don't know. And there's no break in the tank. I thought, well, maybe that's also a way. Hey, Big Steve posted a short that jumped. Short for each of my new ball pythons if you're scrolling through. Awesome. Thank you. I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for that. Dragon Lair, having rough holidays. My best friend's in the hospital. Really touch and go sick. My nephew and I are his only family. Is that Sean? Well, I know it's Sean. We've been in and out of the hospital since Monday night. Hey, Mickham. No, it's a smaller parrot. It's a Quaker parrot. I've got it pretty dark in here, so that, but she's in here. We'll go over and see her again for a second. Fluid, that probably doesn't impress her. An old man like you screaming. She's got some feather loss. Maybe you can see her. I hope so. Off of her chest and belly under her wings. That's why her wing feathers look so long, I just realized, because there's nothing but naked skin. But I didn't notice that because I think she kept her back to me when I went to get her earlier. But up on her, I call them her shoulders, up there by her neck, her wings where they bend. That's where I noticed it. And it's the same uniform. So it may not be mites. Patrick said that, that they do pluck if they're not in a flock. So, but I'm going to treat her for mites. And this is not her cage. It's just one I had grabbed at a yard sale or somebody donated, or, never turned down a good parrot cage. Never. So, but we'll get her cage cleaned up tomorrow and get her in her. She'll be more comfortable. Her cage is not quite this big, not quite as square. What am I trying to say? It's not as big around, or it's not as big square, but it's taller than this, probably half again as tall. And it's got that playground thing and stuff to sit on top. And she was going in and out of it when I was seeing her earlier today. You got food in the bottom. Did you see that? Look down here. See that? You got food. There's a big thing of water. And guess what her favorite treat is? Well, you'd never guess. Cheetos. And that's what the lady's been giving her for 4 years, because she said the man told her that and gave her some Cheetos. So she sent her Cheetos over here with her. So I'll offer her one. Been best friends for 40 years. And we're friends in college 50 years ago. Damn. That's a long, long time when you think about it, but I bet it doesn't seem like a long time to you. I was just thinking about, I graduated from nursing school, college, 78, and that was a long time ago, almost 50 years. No, close enough. Well, let us know if there's anything we can do. Poor guy, you're the only family he's got. Is he expected to recover, or? Yeah, Shady Grady got a new parrot. A little, it's actually for the Ark, but, Floyd was too, so. Yeah, it's a little Quaker parrot, a little female. Or that's what the lady was told and what she told me, so. But I haven't done any research. I graduated in 73. See, that's when I graduated from college. And then 78's when I graduated. No, 73 was high school. God, see now, 73 was high school, but I was 17 because my mom put my ass out of the house. When I was 5, she went and registered me for school. Can you believe that? First grade, 5. But I passed every grade, amazingly. No kindergarten back then, or if there was, it was not anything we'd ever heard of. We was po. I've been around two different Quakers. They both hated men. Well, she belonged to a man originally, and the lady was walking along, came up on a yard sale, and heard the bird, and he asked her if she wanted it, and she said she felt bad for it because it was sitting out in the sun, but that probably was fine as long as it had water and it wasn't real hot out. But she didn't. He didn't know how old the bird was, and that's been 4.5 years ago. So I'll probably make an appointment after the first and take her over to see Dr. Bain. It's my regular vet, but he's like the bird specialist there. He saw Floyd for me when I first got Floyd 2 years ago now, and trimmed his beak and nails, and I'm not going to ever put him through that again. It stressed him out so bad. God love him. So I'll never do that again. Take your time, Walway. He probably got home and now he's got to run to the little boy's room. Floyd, you're sitting in my Mark Twain bowl. What's the town that Mark Twain lived in, grew up in? Anyway, I went there with a friend maybe 20, 25 years ago, and that bowl was the one souvenir I got because it matched my dining room back there, don't you know? But I have rats on my table now. But I'm about to take, hopefully tonight, 3 of those empty rat and mice condo things in there out and put them outside too in the rain. And then tomorrow I'm going to pressure wash and bleach them and store them unless I have a need for them later on. But it's nice having all those fresh mice and rats. But for now, I'm just going to have pets. Now, if they've been to school as soon as out of nappies. What? Having friends or family in crisis is so sad and also energy draining. Future face a new reality, but with a bit more sadness. The fun in life gets even more important. Amen to that. I was thinking the other day, not to sound pathetic, you guys know I am anyway, but my older sister is really the only one that I'm close to. In my family, everybody's dead, or like our mother doesn't want anything to do with us. I don't blame her. But she's in her 80s in a nursing home. And so I messaged my sister and I said, this is excitement here, but a common interest, would you like to go maybe before the first or around the first and do some headstone cleaning? Like we've got a couple of, she actually owns one church that our grandmother deeded to her, and as long as they have church services there, the church owns the land, but it defaults back to the original owner. And but anyway, so we have a large portion of that as family plots. So we like to go there, and their products made to clean the stones. I'm sure you've all seen where the people go and clean them, but like 200 years old. These were all people that died in the 60s, 70s, and coming forward. There's no real old ones. So if you keep them up once or twice a year. But this time I'll have my handy dandy, great big like gallon water spray thing that I use for the reptiles and plants and stuff to rinse with. So I'm kind of excited. He has an estranged brother in Oregon and 2 nurses and a nephew, 2 nieces and a nephew. And you see how close I'm holding this with bifocals. They are in Oregon too. They haven't even called us about him. One niece is his favorite, and we've talked to her. Did she call you or did you call her? Now they seem to be in school as soon as out of nappies. Yep. You got it. Jesus, I couldn't wait to get out of school. And that was junior college, that 73 to 78. I won't go into the details, but it took me 5 years to complete a 2.5-year program part-time. one time I flunked out. You couldn't make a C. You had to make at least a B in the nursing courses. And so I got mad and quit for a year. And oh hell, when I had to work at no air conditioning in a knitting mill, I was ready to go back the next year. I got back in. So things like that. So I worked hard for my RN. It would have been a whole different life without it, that's for sure. Still haven't walked inside my place yet. Well, what did you do? Pee in the yard? I feel like it would be a good live stream to ride home with Huawei sometime. Seem to be some detours and stuff. We had to reach out to her. That's sad. Well, I know my sister, and she's 2 years older than me and has her own health problems. You know, and some of them are similar because we're half siblings. We don't look at it that way, but so we have things that our mother has. I told her, why don't we go clean those gravestones, because we never spend any time together. And I thought, God, if she died tomorrow, I would feel like she lives 30 minutes away, 20 or 30, just right over yonder at the base of the mountain. And I could see her anytime, but she couldn't go one day because she had to babysit great grandsons. Yeah. Intubated. They reintubated him this afternoon as O2 was dropping bad. So he's back on a ventilator, or maybe just a 100% oxygen bag or something. The only reason I know anything at all about that is because my first job out of nursing school was with a group of other GNs, graduate nurses, before we even took our state exams, to open an ICU at Erlanger Hospital, which is a big medical center over yonder in Chattanooga. And the head nurse was recruited from Ohio with some doctor that was a famous cardiologist back then. So, they were paying him out the yin yang, but they set up the first open heart in this area, even before Atlanta. So we opened that unit. Cindy something was her name. But I worked there. But you had to go to surgery with your patient when they would have open heart surgery and be there, so you knew. You just weren't reading reports afterwards. You knew everything and saw everything. You came back with them in the elevator, and the doctor would come with them, or the anesthesiologist, who's a doctor too. But once they got them in the room, got their vital signs in ICU, they were yours, straight off the operating room table. I wouldn't do anything like that now, Jesus. But you had to learn a lot and had to know what you were talking about. Definitely didn't want to call any damn doctor at 3 o'clock in the morning and piss them off unless the patient really needed some help that you couldn't do. But I wouldn't do that now. Floyd, Jesus, even I can hear that. Yeah, I can hear that. Be a good boy. Are you a sweet boy? Are you jealous? Oh, don't be, baby. Come here. Don't be jealous. You're a baby. It's my baby. He's a baby. He's been coming down here and sitting. He never did that before, Pedro. Come down here. Let him see you sit like a baby. He's wanting to go over there really bad. Jesus. Intubated. Do you study nursing at any normal college, university in USA? No, it's kind of both, but like just nursing, just a nurse, not a medical student, but a nurse. Like that was a junior college, of course. It was 2.5 years. I went on later for bachelor courses when I was older in Florida, and I wish I'd never started that, because once I did, I was damn determined to finish. But there's a nursing program, just like a science program or a literature program or whatever. Some of the other departments is what I'm saying, not a program, departments. So the nursing department had 2 floors in the science building. I hear they have a new building now. Of course, 50 years ago, they would want one by now. But, it was pretty cool. But also, because it was right there on campus, we took like microbiology. And I know, imagine me learning that kind of stuff. Microbiology and sociology and nutrition and all of that stuff was part of the curriculum. The nursing classes were lectures and then clinical practice. And the instructors would go out the day before and pick out your patients based on what you were studying. If it was maternity or OBGYN or medical, pediatric, um, but it was done in like semesters. And some of it you got 2 or 3 semesters for certain disciplines. So I did not really apply myself and study hard because I had worked for, I guess, 3 years, 4 years before that as a certified nursing assistant, a CNA. Had a program in high school that you could take for the year, and you uh, could take the exam at school and get your state certification. So I did that with some other students. So I knew a lot of the stuff. In fact, I challenged the first semester, which was just fundamentals like how to take vital signs, how to make the different beds. And there are several beds to learn to make, burn beds and occupied, unoccupied, all kinds of beds. And if you learn how to make them, it really helps you a lot through your career, saves your back. And of course, back then, a lot of it was the old nursing stuff. No scrubs. You didn't see nurses in scrubs. They had dresses and white hose and white shoes. I had to wear white pants and a white smock like a pharmacist or something, and white hush puppy shoes. So, but anyway, I got off on a tangent then. But yeah, it was out of college, but so were the nursing programs. I'm getting ready. I hate it when this jumps. Ready to find a fun retirement job for myself to keep working for the next 10 years just to keep social after being stuck in the house for the past 8 months. I decided I don't want to be. Yeah. Well, see, I was working and volunteering with the art, not working. It's volunteer. Plus, you end up giving a lot. I'm not complaining or bragging, but you end up giving a lot. If the dogs don't have food, guess what? You go buy food. But, so I was really glad I hated to take disability. I did at 59 because I was really trying to make it to 62, but I just couldn't sit at a desk 10 hours, 4 days a week any longer. And Blue Cross had done everything they could, ergonomic workstation, I could stand, sit, whatever. And they let me go to the 4 days, but so that gave me 3 full days off for the ARC. Of course, off on weekends, of course, working in insurance. But when I finally did, that just let me be able to have 7 days a week for the ARC. And that's basically what I've been doing since I was 59, and I just turned 69, so 10 years. But yeah, it definitely keeps me going, but sometimes it's hard work, and if you're short-staffed, Alec, I hope this friend pulls through too. Had a leaky intestine, was badly infected, peritonitis. Yeah. Thank you, Floyd. They remove his ascending colon and put in a ileostomy. He is septic, but no infection in his blood, but it's affected his heart. So it sounds like carditis or myocarditis. Some things never change. Just newer drug, right, Patrick, pharmacist, just newer drugs and more knowledge, but the basic stuff never changes. Heart sounds are still heart sounds, breath sounds are the breath sounds. Home alone twiddling my thumb. Oh my God, come and volunteer with me at the ARC. Pharmacy school was hard. Oh hell, I can't imagine. I had to have chemistry too, and that was so hard, even though I'd had it in high school in preparation to go to nursing school. So Floyd's moved, so here comes all the pitiful little dogs now. Yeah, and now it's Patrick, I'm sure you're aware that it seems like all of those kids coming out of pharmacy school have their PharmD now. They're doctors. Getting ill can be complicated. Some don't want to admit we are all passing one day, and some accept it. Some hard to say what is the best or the worst. Well, I'm not ready to go, but odds are, it won't be a long, long time. I had like an epiphany a long time ago with a friend of mine, and she's gone now. She was one of my nursing professors, and we were talking about such things. And I said, well, I'm going to pass at 89, so I've got to prove that now. But that's 20 years. That's a short, just a blink, the eye. Oh my God, that was her. I'll be 75, 13th of next month, and my friend is 10 months younger than me. Yeah, I think you're probably the youngest or the oldest in the fish fam. I know it used to be, I actually saw like an old video I was reading comments on, and it was you, then Pam, and then me right behind Pam, and Dwayne Kitchell was the baby. Most people probably don't know Dwayne. Um, awesome fish keeper, an OG for sure. With this bird, oh my God, 200 pigeons and doves plus 30 pairs of parrots. Well, one thing you can do, but it'll require, um, some at least basic screening, because you don't want to let them go to bird flippers that are going to sell them for 3 times whatever, like any little rehoming fee might be. But there's the websites adoptapet.com, no spaces, no underscores, just adoptapet, and the other one is Pet Finder, and they both allow individuals to post on there. So you could look for parrots on there or birds on there and get a good idea of like what the good posts, what appeals to you, and post, start posting a few of them and see how it goes. And I always recommend no matter what kind of animal, that there's a small, at least a rehoming fee, because most people won't pay $20 for a kitten for their snake. It happens all the time. When they can get a large rat for $9. So, but if you're giving away kittens, people got to feed them big snakes. It's sad, but hey, Wormy. Oh my goodness, look, she's even got her face on. She's got her eye makeup. Look at that. Girl, what are you all made up for? Hmm? My goodness. What's that knocking noise? Worm and Terry, the sisters, are going next week to Pet Sense while we're there and get groomed. Today I had Princess Prinny there. Boy, you can tell she feels better. It'd been probably 3 or 4 months since I had been able to bathe them or anything, because he isn't going to be able to care for them for at least 6 or more months if he makes it. I think my nephew's going to move them to Dothan, where he lives, and take care of them. That would be nice. It would be nice if he wants to hold on to them. But if there's some that he's not, that attached to, like if somebody said, well, which 2 dogs would you, let go to make it easier? And I'd be like, no 2. They're all the same. But that's always an option, to put them on there, because people go on there to look for. So they go on and they search for this kind of parrot or that, or feathery things, or Worm's a feathery thing, aren't you, girl? She looks so big, but she's about a foot in front of me. She's a tiny little girl. Tiny little girl. That is so nice of him. His nephew, Sean, is pretty awesome. I used to talk to him It's been a while. He was building a fish house out behind his house, and during that time I kind of lost touch with him. Oh, that's nice. How is his fish house doing, Patrick? I know when we were talking a few weeks ago, I said say hi to Sean, please. But he was really doing that thing upright too. We used to go from Chattanooga when I was in 78, 79. I had a new Trans Am out of nursing school, a brand new Mayan red with the huge orange and yellow and all that bird on the hood. So we would all pile in and go to Panama City Beach, which was nothing like back then like it is now. But we'd go through Dothan. That was the fastest way. Dothan, Alabama. Oh, okay. Well, all the time I was thinking that you got two nephews named Sean, or is the one that I'm thinking of not your nephew? You know, it's easy to get something in your head at this age and it becomes fact. Okay. I see there's going to be a Repticon in Atlanta, Patrick. I think it's like the 4th and 5th, whatever that first weekend is. I thought about just riding down to look. I don't need anything, and if I bought anything, it would be the other direction, Knoxville. There's J&J Reptiles, and I've bought several things. Both the carpets I have, my San Diego gopher snakes. His prices are at the bottom of what people charge. Like if people charge, 300 to 500 for a rare gopher snake, he'll charge 275, and if you talk to him and look a little while, he'll knock off another 25 or 50. And one time I couldn't get my debit card to work. I had money in the bank, and I could show him. I could bring up my banking app and show him, but it just wouldn't work. Never had that happen. And he's like, "Well, go ahead and take it." It was this big carpet I've got now. I'm like, no, no, no. But we figured out something. I can't remember how I paid him. It was just a friend. Was that the Sean that was OOTD? Sean OOTD? Or is that one your nephew? I'll try to keep it straight if I can. No promises. I gotta flip this over because I don't have a clock except on here. It's coming up on 8:30, so I don't think anybody else is coming on. I could ramble another 15 minutes, but I'm not talking about reptiles. I'd really rather you guys talk. There, now you can really see the proportion, how little she is. Coro told her she didn't have any knees, and I started looking at them, and she doesn't. There's the Pacus back there, the two big ones, and then the three small ones. Those big ones are 15 and 15 and a half inches now. And the small ones are like 5 and 6. One of them's a little bigger. Well, you can see it's the one out in front. But they have, well, my fat head's covering up half the tank. It's a 6-foot tank, 180. So they're okay, I guess, for now. My dad got to be 92, so I had many years of worrying. In the end, thinking about it, you can only do what you're able to do. Living each day the best you can is a great start, I say. Yeah, very true. Words of wisdom. And I used to have to tell myself that so much, that if you can do something about it, do it, damn it. But don't just worry, because, you're just wasting time and not getting anything done. She's sitting up on that one little perch. She's got that swing, but that's what I've got to do. I've got some other cages that I think have perches. So I've got to dig some of those out. I could actually probably go out in the rain, no big deal, and get a couple of her perches out of her cage, but they're not going to fit in here. That had to be Floyd because that went from up above. Floyd, what are you throwing? And Floyd always is like, don't move, and he can't see me. I hear you. I might do that. Might be the easiest thing to do. The easiest thing to do. Yeah, OTD. Yes, I remember that. I remember that. Tanganyika. Chickens don't have lips. Well, there was a debate about that. She's making some new noises back there. Yeah, I know it's time for you to eat, Dragon Lair. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for the info. Glad to see you. I always say that Patrick is my Patrickopedia. Always very helpful on many topics. Many. Is the knee, is that's why ostrich legs bend backwards, is the knee is actually part of the ankle. Well, she has some weird look. I think there is, the vet said no, but the last time she was at the vet, she's going in 2 weeks again for her annual stuff. And Terry's getting a dental because she's had issues in the past and lost some teeth, so we're staying on top of that. But Worm just a physical and vaccinations and stuff. But I mentioned that to Casey, Dr. Casey, because Worm is all legs, she's got enough leg for 2 chihuahuas. But she was talking about those spider legs, and I'm like, I know it, look at her back legs. And she said, no, they're just long, and they look weird, but thanks, Patrick. Good to see you as always. That's also great advice. I think I'm going to text my sister after this and tell her all over. We tell each other all the time, but he's your spirit animal. Well, you got a great one there. That's why ostrich legs bend backwards. Okay, I've got that in my head now. Is the knee, I think that didn't come out exactly right, that's why I'm not getting it, is the knee is actually part of their ankle. Oh no, that makes perfect sense. I get it. Yeah. Coro, I bet you that you have seen they called her the camel girl, and she was like briefly like one of the big freak show, as they called them, stars. And she did that for a couple of years, but she would stand on her legs bent backwards at the knee, so she would stand on her hands, like on her back in that position, and with her legs bent backwards, and she could walk that way and everything. They were just on backwards, the knee joints. Girl, you're getting loud now. Cankles. Right, GRB. GRB knows the medical terminology. But yeah, the camel girl, he's probably Googling her if he didn't know who she is. I don't remember the camel girl, but I do remember the horse kid who ran around on all fours. Oh hell, I'll have to Google that. Well, Google the camel girl. It'll come right up. But she only did it a few years, and she made a butt ton of money, the research about her says. And I think she got her degree and was teaching, and I think she may have even gotten married. But she kind of went into oblivion, and she made her money and got her education and got her family. Worm, I need a nanny just for you and your sister. just for you and your sister, a nanny. Okay, guys, I am going to talk maybe 10 more minutes unless everybody leaves. That's my plan, and I'm going to stick to it because I need to eat something too. Oh my goodness, get comfy. Look at her. She's making the little puppy cooing noises. Oh, she's a baby. Look at those jackalope legs. Look at that. Oh my God. Donkeys don't have legs that big. See how long their nails are. My goodness, let's get them tucked under there. Okay, now. I counted some Epistogramma rosatae is how I pronounce that, but I don't think that's correct. Juveniles in a tank where they're born hatched. Their mom passed and I moved the dad. Counted 6 of them. Guess I got both genders too. Well, that's pretty cool. So that's mom's legacy. Let me see if she'll answer me. Taterbug. Yeah. Taterbug. Taterbug. I think she's talking to Floyd. I think he's up there on top of the tank. I've got a new rolling thing that was a guinea pig thing that got donated, and I'm going to put some of my pet rats, the big hairless ones, in there. I've got them separated by sex now because I've got plenty of pets. I don't need any more. But her cage is sitting on top of that. It has its own stand, the one you can see. You can see the white thing underneath her. But that's too low on the ground for a bird, so I brought that one in out of the garage and we wiped it down. It was clean. It just had cobwebs. My socks are wet. I'll leave that one to Coro. I remember last time I were rambling like this and Sambos came up, and don't you know, Coro, based on the things you said, which were factual, I had to go research that more in depth. And when I started looking at some of the ads and stuff like that, I remembered that stuff. It's amazing. I can't remember my name right now, but it's funny how you can remember long-term things. That's her name. Yep. 1921. Yeah, and she wasn't bad looking either. You know, especially back then, everybody looked funky, but she was, and she was a snappy dresser. But she'd be on her hands and palms flat. And look how awkward that is to do that the other way. Some people can put their hands, their palms flat. Not many are that flexible in front of them with typically normal knees, and some people can walk out on their palms, but Jesus. Rosate looks like a yellow orange Inca 50. Some big words. Gorgeous fins, black striped body, and golden yellow females when guarding fry. Well, that fish was discovered by a female since the Latin name ends in an E. That's all I can contribute to that. Probably somebody named Rose. Don't you know? Oh, that says Codfather on there. Didn't even notice. Sometimes it doesn't say anything and it wants me to put something in. I'm wanting to resurrect one of my tanks. I just don't know which one or what I want to put in it. I need another fish project now that this thing's kind of off the ground. Once I get my new fish in there, my natives, I asked him about getting 2 yellow perch and like a tadpole, mad tom. They look like a tadpole, a little catfish that are native. and a couple of other little fish. And he came right back, or whoever works for him came right back and said, "Are these all going in one tank?" And I counted, and it was 7 fish. And I thought, well, that is a lot to add at once, I guess. Got to be a Peruvian girl, Rosita. One of my cats, the bobtail's named Rosemary, and I love to call her Rosita. Oh, since then, Coro says, I found out there is still a Sambo's currently called Chad. I saw that was one of the names they tried to change a bunch of them to. Changed their name during the George Floyd protests, and there used to be one in the beach town nearby. Yeah, that was the name. Like on some of the commercials, it would show like a cartoon or a caricature of people changing the letters up on the sign to Chad from Sambo's. Yeah, I read a lot of it. I was really bored and kept following the wormholes. I can barely move around these days, and I'm only 58 with no restrictions. So, well, don't freeze up, GRB. Don't freeze up. I wish that I were walking more, but with this one bum knee, and I don't want to get surgery on it, so I just try to manage it with injections and that kind of stuff. I mean, at 69, it's kind of, for me, it's time to think about not doing anything, just maintenance, no surgeries. Beats the alternative. You ain't kidding. Getting older does suck. The lady I got the bird from, she was the coolest, this little black lady, but I think that really added to her personality and certainly to her decorations and the way she spoke and stuff. But she said, "I'm 60, Lord, I'm 65," and she's very educated and intelligent too. So I had to play the hillbilly down a little bit on my side. But she said, "Lord, I just turned 65 and I'm disabled and blah, blah, blah." And I said, "I just turned 69. It doesn't get any better." So it doesn't. And these are the good old days. Horse girl is named Anna Solander. That makes you almost want to say slander and leave that first A off. Anna Solander. And there's a few viral videos of her as a 10-year-old, but I haven't seen anything recent. However, it appears there's a second one named Isla Kirsten. Isla was my friend that I was talking about earlier. That was one of my nursing professors that I was with when I had that I'm going to live to 89 ideal epiphany thing. Her name is Isla Bryson, and her daddy's daddy founded Bryson City. You hear more about it now, North Carolina, Bryson City. And her married name is Lepley, so Isla Bryson Lepley. It's not a name you see a lot of, and she was the first Isla I'd ever heard of. Uh-oh. She's really getting into her, hearing herself. And some trainer in Indiana seems to be a proponent of running on all fours. Nathaniel Nolan. Like a gym trainer. Well, yeah, what other kind could there be? So true, GRB. I need to start training or jogging or something, walking every day and eating less. Yeah, my diabetes is really went downhill on me. Thank God I have on the continuous monitor now, and it's rare that I stick myself, so that's nice. But it reads out every 5 minutes, and I've got the alarm set like I want them, and it's actually got it on my phone now, so I don't have to carry the little box around that, that I'd had to before. And I'm still trying to get in to see a diabetic specialist and endocrinologist to get, why am I telling you all this? But anyway, to get a continuous insulin pump, and that will even make life better. It's really, really hard. I spent over an hour on the phone last night with my Medicare Advantage Blue Cross provided dietitian for mostly about menus and what to eat and what not to eat and all that. And she tried to close my case. I used to have to do that when I was a transplant case manager because they look at those things on reports, and they don't want you keeping a case open too long because then you're overworked, or there's a limit on how many whatever. So I said, if you'll do me one more time and one more month, then we'll close it. So she agreed. I wasn't quite ready. I thought at first it was Anna Sal. I did too. And then I went to Salander. That would be cool, Anna Salamander. It rolls better too off the tongue. Anna Salamander. Jeremy, is there an age you stop looking back at yourself from 5 years ago and think to yourself, man, that guy was an idiot, or am I stuck like this? That's a loaded question. My sister got diabetes type 2, so I'm getting a wake up warning from hope. Yeah, there is some familial, at least that's all they knew about it when I took nursing training. Um, but it is familiar. I had a sister 2 years younger. She's dead now, not from diabetes, but she had it, and our maternal grandmother had it. And I want to say my paternal grandmother had it, but she passed when I was a teenager. And that was a minute, so I can't remember that she was for sure. But mine is type 2, of course. Type 1, you're born with. Let me get those things. Let me bite them. Let me bite them. Let me bite those toes. Worm. And type 2 is an acquired, and it can be from different things, the type 2 can, but mine is from being old, family history, overweight, diet, lack of exercise. There's something called metabolic syndrome that most people, like that case scenario, like mine, have for a period of time. Not a long time, but it's a warning period, Meckham. The doctor starts talking to you about metabolic syndrome. You're almost there. Anna Salamander should be the next Disney character, right? I don't blame you. That's a good one. Anna Salamander. That's something I've been wanting, is some newts. Some of those little, are they red? And they're native. They're from around here, so I could possibly have that in my native tank. Y'all know what I'm talking about? They'd only get like 5 inches, if that, and they stay small. Of course, they lay eggs, but they're yellowish, uh, rusty red looking. Sometimes you see them in the fish store. I'll ask next time I'm in there. I was just in yesterday to get crickets and worms and stuff. Yep, you're born with type 1. I have a friend that's a diabetic. He's maybe 7 or 8 years younger than me, but he had juvenile diabetes, but not type 1. He had to go to the emergency room one time when he was like in middle school or junior high, I think it was called. Yeah, that was that bird. I thought somebody stepped on a cat's tail or something. And his blood sugar was so high he was almost in a coma, but they had no idea before that, so it can happen anytime. Coral says, make them a couple of years ago. I passed out at work, dehydration. It was really hot, locked my knees during a meeting, and the EMT who showed up to check on me didn't wipe my finger down. I know where this is going, so it skewed the results. I'm bad not to wipe mine or really clean mine. I usually just put it under the faucet for a second. Finger prick blood sugar, and I tested, and I got so freaked out by that simple mistake. Okay, because the numbers were so high. Yep. Whatever's on that finger can usually or possibly can do exactly what he's saying. And I know that, but I'll usually just turn the faucet on, and you do like that, like where the hell is my camera? There, like that, and then stick that finger. But I've checked it with my new meter too, and they're usually like 3 apart, and that it can vary 3 in the 2 minutes that you're checking it. Seriously, we had them in yard in suburban Washington, D.C. in 1970s. Now, these are aquatic ones, though. They may come out on land. I don't know if they're truly aquatic or if they're amphibians. I think most newts are probably amphibians, salamanders. And I don't even know if newts is a salamander. Yeah, I've got 3 things so far to Google if I can remember them. Right? Right, worm? Hey, Craig, what's up? I'm about to get off here in a couple of minutes. I've been rambling over an hour. We were going to have the reptiles, but Skipper's got a social engagement and Susie Q's sick. So keep her in mind. And so I've got a new bird just tonight, just this evening. And so that's her back there starting to talk. Her and Floyd are still both being shy of each other, so we'll see. You got to wear a big bunny suit thing in a clean room, Sam. All ESD protective DS, gloves, booties, big onesie bunny suit, the whole shebang. I haven't heard that word in a while. And what did Sam ask? How do you get heat exhaustion putting lasers on sharks? Yeah, that would do it. Wearing all that. And I'm blanking out on what ESD means. Luckily, I quit that job working in Parks and Recreation now. Contract is up in a few months, though. Oh, do you hear her say pretty bird? Pretty bird. Pretty bird. It wasn't as clear as Floyd says pretty bird, but pretty bird. Pretty bird. Floyd, you and her speak the same language. Cleaning my sword tank. I got so many fry from them. That's what I need to start is a sword tank. Want to start a new tank, Greg? Just one. Just one. I've been to a new house doctor for a year. Honestly, I almost like when I first met him, he looks like a copy of Rico. So I see him as a cool dude. Yeah. Yeah. Electrostatic dish. No, I don't know what I would. I've never heard that, so that's why I didn't. I was thinking it was more along the lines of individual or personal protection or um, isolation or something like that. So I had no idea what it was. Do you live on TikTok? I don't, but I'm all the time I used to spend on YouTube. I spend 90% of that on TikTok now. It's just a better place for me, especially with reptile stuffs. You're on there a fair amount yourself. So I'll usually say hi or give you a like or something when I see you. Move a log on ground in a salamander. Yeah, here in Tennessee, that used to be the case a lot, but it's a lot drier than it used to be. About the only place you find them now is out in the woods, like with leaves and a log. It's got to be pretty damp for them usually. My goodness, that made the worm jump. That made the worm jump. Well, wait, how's Amy doing? You never speak of her. 30K likes got me exited. I did well the other day. Excited. I hate it when it changes stuff. And with my case, it's my thumbs. Yeah, that's what they say, Huawei. I've still got my Instagram and my threads and my YouTube. A lot of people in a lot of streams pretty uniformly talk about, or somebody will ask, what's their plan, or they're giving their YouTube channels, if they should disappear and stuff. I was in a stream last night and I left it. It's usually somebody I like to follow. I still do. But he was being silly and at first, and then I realized that the person he had, that they, you can play the games. I forget what it's called, not a game, but anyway. And he was pretending to be someone that was intellectually slow, and he was speaking slow and saying that his mother, he'd have to ask his mother things. And I just thought, hell no. He didn't mean it to be mean, but it was. It really was. And the poor girl that came in had no idea. And his mods knew what he was doing. I just thought that was really bizarre that he could get away with that. I don't know about that. Well, President Trump, or future President Trump, I guess he's president-elect, so you can call him president. He has kind of backed up his original thoughts about TikTok, and I've seen him say some things about, maybe we need it, or so I don't know if it is going to go away or not. I think it'll depend a lot on the money. Past and future. There you go. I know sometimes, sometimes they don't want to call the former president, and nothing to do with that president, but it's just whatever the tone is by the news, formerly news, but they say Mr., like Mr. Obama. But I think they call him President Obama most of the time. But there was a period there, like in the 2000s, where they were Mr. Rats are waking up. They're all playing. The baby rats are so cute. They roll on their back when one of them's running at them and flip them over. They know all their wrestling moves. Pretty cool. That's a lot of that. All right. One or two more comments. Got to be kind of boring for kids here nowadays. All two different salamanders and frogs are now protected by the law. All two. Kids can't pick them up and bring them home. Like we did. Guess those who want to will anyway. Oh yeah. President of Christmas past. Christmases. I don't know. I've never heard anybody say Christmases. Just Christmas. That's a good point. I've never heard that. Or possessive. Does the past belong to Christmas? Another good point. He's one of my new foster cats. He's been skittish, but he's coming around. He just walked by like we're not supposed to notice him. Solid black. His name's Charlie. Here's how it was in the Obama administration. You can't, pretty boy, pretty girl, pretty bird. She said it again. Pretty bird. You can go to bed knowing there's an adult in charge. Agreed, kids shouldn't be on here. Well, what they need to do is have a platform for kids. There probably are, but of course I don't frequent those. But they need to have like a kids TikTok or all of that opportunity there, for the kids to learn and develop some social skills. And of course, it would have to be closely monitored for people like the worm. But I've never understood why they don't. And the financial opportunity for sponsors and stuff. I don't know. I've been working in a school for 2 years with 10 to 12-year-old kids. Honestly, would have appreciated if we had a 12-year limit for social medias. You mean they should be at least 12? That's still pretty young. But it's better than nothing, that's for sure. One of the guys' mods that I was mentioning about pretending to be slow, I think the thing was just to make the girl think that, and he played it off perfectly. But one of his mods, I think, was a minor, because people were saying things just to try to make the content maker laugh. And he said something about having a special van, like a handicap van or something like that. And I said, because I was trying to crack him up, and that's before I really realized how serious this was. I said, when you can make it to your van, would you come and pick up your mama? And one of his mods deleted it, and I like a question mark, like why? Because I actually, donated a little money on there on that channel. And I was like the number one gifter right then, and that mod was number 3. So I'm like, his mod needs to. And what was wrong with that? It wasn't against any policies or anything. So I called him on it, and he said, "Well, I didn't understand it. It didn't make any sense." I said, "It don't have to make sense to you. There was nothing wrong with it, and it was a joke." Jesus. And then I looked at his profile, and I'm like, "This is a kid." Jesus. When I made my Facebook account, the age limit was 14 and I was 12. Interesting. Well, I guess there's no way they can check that to be sure. Realistic, how does the internet enforce age rules? Exactly, Coral. Yeah. Yeah. But there needs to be a way to enforce it. And there also needs to be some limits. My niece that overdosed 5 or 6 years ago, her mom was single, my sister, and she would catch her, like with old men or middle-aged men, which were old men, to a 13 or 14-year-old girl at 3 in the morning, talking to them and sending them pictures. And I'm like, Jesus. So I took her computer away from her because she wouldn't tell her mother and me what the password was, so we could go in and set some parental controls. So I brought that bad boy home with me. It's still sitting in my closet. Of course, she got her another one eventually. But have you seen a child with their phone taken? Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of the videos, like where the guy goes around with a hammer and busts up all the porcelain fixtures and stuff, and that's a bit much. It was just a box to check. Nope, 14-year-old wouldn't have one. I wonder what the youngest legal age is in what country. At the same time, I can't want to be the bad old man stopping kids from having a good. Well, Mickham, you remember that it's not the kids, and even the adults that are trying to perpetrate inappropriate things on women or mentally handicapped, for lack of a better word, or seniors, so there's always somebody ready to take advantage and all that. All right, guys, I have talked another 25 minutes, 24 minutes. So I'm going to get off here. You guys have to be tired. And the worm said she's had enough. she's had enough. She wants a treat and a walk. So I'm gonna get off here. Yeah, and I mean that rule was Facebook's rule, not the government. Yeah. And then that can lead you on into all of these billionaires that own these platforms now, and on and on and on. Interesting times. 16 there. I guess it's 16 universally here in all the 50 states in the U.S. That's what it was way back in the golden years. So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging with me, and I hope to see you all Sunday night. And of course, I'll be on Susie's, or being mod on Susie's stream, and hope that she's able and feeling like coming back on here. We're Tennessee Fish Fam. If any of you guys ever want to be a guest, let us know. I mean, I'm the one that actually does the stream, but we all on the panel are like equal partners, like on who we want to have on and all that. So thank you, Nickum. Appreciate it. It would be devastating if I lost mine. I went out yesterday and realized I didn't have it, and I was maybe a mile away, and I thought I can damn well make it for 2 hours to go to the grocery store, and so it was kind of nice because I wasn't checking it, and all that. So anyway, all right. Good night, guys. Appreciate you. And look at why I'm getting excited. She's like, he's getting off. And I will see you all Sunday night, I hope. And again, if anybody would ever like to come on, some of you have been on, we would love to have you. And with that, Worm says, have a great rest of your weekend. Roblox is literally a kid's game. Predators are going to target kids in whatever game. Yeah, I've heard about that. But there's some of those independent citizen groups that are becoming more networked. I like to watch those videos where somebody thinks they're going to meet a 12-year-old girl or a boy, and they meet up with, a big 300-pound, 35-year-old man. So ban them from YouTube and throw them out in certain areas. How can the rest of us keep an eye out? Yep. Bye. Huawei said bye. He's turning the lights out. Take care, guys. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, mods. All right, girl, we're going to